friends. Hello, hello. How you feeling? We're doing good? Guys, as Ben said, I am honored to be here to share with you my story, but again, it's my story, and while it may not reflect that of an average retailer, I hope that I can give you some perspective that in turn can become a spark for you in your business to reach whatever success looks like for you. You know, success is a funny thing. People talk about it and they'll ask you, like, what's the secret? The special sauce. Like they're looking maybe for an easy button, or maybe they just genuinely want to know what is the secret to success. And I think in any business, it's the same in LuLaRoe. Success comes from lots of falling down and getting back up. It comes from so much hustle and hard work and just never giving up when it gets really hard. But the magic, the true magic here at LuLaRoe is each and every one of you. Beautiful and unique. You are the reason that I have never missed the LuLaRoe vision and why I will never miss one. Because 5 years ago, I came to my first vision all by myself. I had just been a retailer. I was a new baby retailer and decided to come, but I didn't know anyone. Who's here by themselves? Who came and didn't know anybody? I feel you, it's kind of scary, right? But I walked in and everyone was so welcoming. But I walked out of that vision and my life was changed. Now I know that sounds dramatic, you guys, but it's so true. And it wasn't the trainings that I received because they were great. And I'm so grateful for all of those incredible women who were inspiring and were so willing to share their tips and tricks with all of us about how to book pop-ups and how to share the opportunity. But the real magic and inspiration for me came by their example. I saw what they had done for their businesses, and I saw what was possible for mine. Just them being there and being willing to share with me their stories, it shattered the ceiling of limitations that I had put on myself and my business. You see, just being at that vision and being around those inspiring women, seeing what they were doing in their businesses, it gave me a light bulb moment and a complete mindset shift. It removed those handcuffs that I had put on myself about how much I thought I could do or what I had time for or how big my dreams could be. So today I want to share with you some excuses that I feel like we all can relate to, and that we right now, me included, we use those excuses and they are keeping us from our potential. So we're going to walk through a few of those. Sound like a good idea? Okay, guys, here we go. See if I can run a clicker. Okay, here we go. Number one, how many have heard this? I am a small fish. I don't sell as much as most people. I'm not successful. Then you can fill in the blank. I don't matter, right? I am not important enough. No one cares about me. However you want to finish that sentence, but I'm a small fish. Friends, this one fires me up. I hate this term, and anytime someone says it, the hair on my arm stands up. Because, you guys, you are not a small fish. Do you think Mark and Deanne ever imagined that this business could be what it is today when they started and Brittany got those skirts at that gas station? Never in a million years. And have some people taken this opportunity and run with it? Yes. And that is so inspiring. But I don't know about you, when I started LuLaRoe, I wanted $1,000 in my bank account. Right? That sounded incredible. That would make a really big difference for my family. It would put some wiggle room back in that budget that was not there before LuLaRoe. And that $1,000 was so appealing to me. How many people started because of $1,000 extra a month? That sounded like a really good idea. Look around. You guys, so many of us share that in common because that financial stability, that relieving some of that burden is something that we all share. No matter where you're from or what your background is, we all want a little bit of extra money at the end of the month. We want to be able to send our kids to camps that maybe we didn't get to go to. Those experiences that we want to provide, we all share that. We all have that in common. But friends, at what point did $1,000 extra a month make you not successful? That's all I wanted, was $1,000. That was the goal. So many of you are hitting that goal, and now that's not good enough. Friends, we need to change our perspective and get out of our own way. $1,000 extra a month is game changer for a family. Now, if you sell $5,000 a month and you have $2,500 extra in your pocket, you are a rock star in my book. If you want to sell $50,000 and have $25,000 profit and be able to make more in 1 month than you did in an entire year as a new teacher, that's incredible. That's a huge blessing. But by saying you are a small fish, friends, you are taking away the power and you're discrediting all the hard work that you're putting in right now to sell those 50 pieces. That's not okay. So can we make a vow right now to never use that term again? Because my whole why right now, LuLaRoe has blessed our family in incredible ways, and it's allowed me to be able to see my why achieved and find a new why. My why is each and every one of you. It is helping women find and own their confidence. And every time you say, I'm a small fish, I'm not successful, I don't matter, you take that power away from yourself. And you cannot get to the next level if you don't celebrate where you are right now. You want to sell 175 pieces and rock the heck out of that Start Now program? Then do it. You can do it. Women are doing it every single month. You want to cruise qualify? I want you on that boat. So let's make a plan and let's get you there. But you cannot get from 50 pieces to 175 or 175 to cruise qualifying if you beat yourself up every month about the 50 pieces. You think you're not enough, but I want to share some data with you guys right now. You think you're a small fish. Do you know that the majority of retailers right now in LuLaRoe sell between $1,000 and $5,000? That is fact. So the majority of you aren't successful? That's a bunch of crap. You are not a small fish, you are a dang force. So own it and celebrate it. If you want to be at another stage in your business, then let's talk. Link arms with people, put in the work to get there, but you gotta own the wins that you have right now in order to get to the next stage. Number 2, I don't have enough time. I get it. It is hard being a wife, a mom, a sister, a friend. We juggle all the things and I drop all the balls all the time. It may look like I have it together, but friends, trust me, if you saw behind the scenes of that Instagram filter, you would see just what a hot mess I am most days and why you're only seeing from here to here because maybe there's no pants on. I mean, let's be real. You've been there, you've done it too. Okay, I don't have enough time. The reality is, guys, I have 24 hours, and you have 24 hours, and you have 24 hours, and you have 24 hours. I'm not getting any more time in the day, but I am choosing how I spend it. And you have that same choice as well. You feel like you don't have enough time. The truth is, you do. If you were mad about the Starbucks cup showing up in Game of Thrones, or if you even know what I'm talking about, you got some more time in your day than you thought you did. Now, I'm not saying that you can't ever watch TV and you can only focus on LuLaRoe. Well, goodness, no. You have to have some balance in your life, but the reality is, if you don't like where you are right now, then you gotta put in some extra work to get to where you wanna be, right? And you have time in your day, you just gotta find it, right? You have the power to choose where you're spending that time, so you gotta make that choice. For me, that was 5 a.m. I really hate getting up. Like, if I could be a college frat boy my whole life, that would be lovely. Stay up all night, sleep all day. I mean, that sounds like heaven to me, but I've got 2 children and they don't operate on that schedule. And I have a busy business. So for me, for many years, I was like, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time, I can't work out. I've got 2 kids, they're busy. I always made an excuse for why I didn't have time to do this thing for me that I really wanted to do, but I hit the snooze button every single day. And my husband, he's like, if that alarm goes off one more time, I'm gonna break it. Because every day I set the alarm for 5, but I never got up. And that gets real annoying after 12 years of marriage. But every day I went to bed and I'm like, tomorrow I'm doing it. I'm doing it, 5 a.m., I'm gonna get up in a cute workout outfit and I'm gonna do it. And I never did it. And something shifted for me and I said, you know what, I'm tired of quitting on myself. I'm tired of it. So I set an alarm for 5 a.m. and the next day it went off and I got up. And it hurt, but I got up. And then the next day I did it again. And I did it again, and I did it again. And I'm so sorry for flooding your Instagram stories, but I posted about it because it was the only thing keeping me accountable. I thought if I post about it with that dang timestamp, I can't fake that. Fake a lot of things, but I can't fake that. So I did it, and I did it over and over and over again. And guys, I still hate it. Like really hate it when that alarm goes off at 5 a.m. and my husband is snoring and my children are asleep and my bed's really comfortable and I just don't want to do it. Look at what I titled that alarm. So when it goes off, tell myself, Lindsey, you are stronger than the snooze. Your dreams are more important than the snooze. And so I get up every day and I work out or I work my business or I find that time for me, and it is hard, but it has made all the difference. I feel better. I have more energy for my family, for my kids, for my business, but I found the time. So my challenge to you is if you feel like, oh, but she doesn't know. She doesn't have X, Y, and Z in her life. Do a little diary throughout your day. Where are you really spending your time? If I write down a food diary and I feel like I did really good all day, and then I realize that handful of Dutz pretzels was actually the entire bag. Like you can't fake that. So if you write down, you can see where you're losing your time. Have you lost 7 hours watching someone else's Instagram story? I have. You can find some time back, right? So if you now see where you're losing that time, my next challenge to you is create before you consume. Before you watch somebody else's live sale, go do your own. Before you watch my Instagram stories and my sweaty selfies, go create some content to create community with your customers. Before you watch Netflix, I want you to write down a list of names and call 5 people to book a pop-up, right? You have the time, but if you know where you're spending it, you can take back that power. Next up, I got in too late. I am so grateful that I met Ashley at that vendor event all those years ago. But I will tell you, in the core of whom I am, with every cell in my body, I believe in who LuLaRoe is right now, and I believe in where we're going. If I had to quit today and come back and start my business all over again, I would do it in a heartbeat. That's how passionately I feel about this business and where we're going. So saying you got in too late is a lie that you're telling yourself, an excuse that is keeping you from where you could be. Every single month, there are people qualifying for the Fast Start program. That's brand new retailers who are coming into this business selling 175 pieces a month. That's huge. I didn't sell 175 pieces of my first month. Are you kidding me? Like, that's incredible. On the cruise ship, there are also people doing the fast or the start now, right? So those are retailers that have been in and are doing the 175 now. So it doesn't matter if you're just starting or you've been in a long time, you just have to refocus to be able to get to that goal if that's what you want, but don't let the excuse get in your way. Also, friends, did you know that 1/3 of the cruise ship was all brand new retailers or retailers who had never cruised before? And they sold over $70,000 to get on that cruise ship. It's not too late. I want to share with you just a little bit of perspective. Do you know how many little figures are up there? 8,250. There are 8,250 adult women in the United States right now for every one active retailer. You think you got in too late and everybody is already shopping with somebody else? Friends, the data just doesn't support that. We feel like everybody already knows about it because we love LuLaRoe and we're immersed in it. It's like when you go to buy a new car and then all of a sudden you see that car everywhere. The manufacturer didn't all of a sudden just drop 50 of those in your neighborhood. You're seeing it because you're seeking it out, friends. The reality is we right now have only tapped into 2% of women in America age 18, so adult women in America have actually purchased LuLaRoe. 2%. Friends, we got a lot of work to do, but that's exciting. What if we tap into 50% of that? Holy moly, like that's a lot of people. But this is where we gotta get out of our own way. I challenge you to look around at the next local event that you're at. I mean, not the airport when you fly home on Sunday, because that's a skewed perspective. But I want you to look the next time you travel or next time you go to an event and count how many pieces of LuLaRoe that you see. For me, I went to a music festival recently, you guys, and there were 10,000 people from all over the country. I saw 2 pieces of LuLaRoe. 2 pieces. I got work to do. So why don't we link arms, and why don't we clothe every woman in America with LuLaRoe? She needs LuLaRoe in her life, right? All right, then let's get out of our own way and stop saying we got in too late, and let's get to work. The next one, my sponsor isn't supportive. My sponsor never. My team doesn't. I mean, I hear it all the time, right? I would be successful, but my sponsor, she quit. My sponsor doesn't love me. Guys, we hope that your sponsor can be a really great friend and a support system, but I mean, nowhere on the contract does it say you gotta be best friends, right? If all your sponsor ever did for you, I wanna give you a little bit of perspective. If all they did for you was introduce you to LuLaRoe, and it's changed your family's life, by God, give them a hug and celebrate them. Don't hold on to the grudges for the things you think they should have done for you. Be grateful. As Elsa would say, you gotta let it go. Let it go, because it's not doing you any good to harbor frustration over something that somebody else didn't do. It's keeping you from the stuff you should be doing right now, right? So let it go, and then find your tribe. If you're here alone, get the cell phone number of somebody sitting next to you and say, hey, you're my new accountability partner. You don't ask them, you tell them. You tell them they're your new accountability partner, and you lift each other up on those hard days, and you celebrate the wins. Find your tribe. And you know what? In this day and age, I love that quote that ignorance is unacceptable. Google it. YouTube, ask to be adopted on another team page. Ask questions. There is no excuse why you can't be successful right now. And if it's your family, I get it. My husband did not understand LuLaRoe. He told me not to do it, and I did it anyways. But instead of those questions and those fears dampening the flames, I let him fuel my fire, friends. It made me work even harder to prove what I knew was possible. Now, what if that is somebody, maybe that's your husband or your mother-in-law or somebody at school drop-off, and they're judging you and you're afraid. Who's afraid of failing? You don't put yourself out there. Maybe you don't do Instagram stories because you don't know what people will say, right? I got a little story for you. So anyways, those sweaty selfies I was talking about. I had this lady send me a message, and she said, would you stop posting those? You're embarrassing yourself, and no one wants to see them. But you guys, and her name was Patty, but you guys, the reality is that was the 5th message Patty had sent me. And every time I was really kind, and I said, listen, this is our community. We love sharing all parts of our life. If it doesn't inspire you, we hope you can find somebody that does. Unfollow. It's real easy. But she didn't. And the 5th time it finally struck a chord, and I was like, I must say something. And so I did what any good person would do. I called her out on Instagram, and I told my community all about the story, because I didn't want anybody else to be kept from chasing their dreams or being their authentic self because some stranger on the internet said not to do it. So I posted about it, I danced it out a little bit, and then I posted extra sweaty selfies for a week with the hashtag for Patty. Because I can. So why would you at the end of your life, only you are the person who is gonna live with the regrets of things that you didn't do. So friends, why do they get a say now? If it's your husband, your mother-in-law, or the ladies at school, do not let anybody else keep you from the positive that's right around the corner because you're worried about the negativity that they might be sending you right now. Next up. It's just easier for them. Maybe I'm not cut out for it, right? How many times have you felt that? You see somebody on Instagram, it looks like their life is perfect. You watch their live sales, everything they hold up sells. You're like, I just must not be cut out for this. I can't do it. Friends, I will tell you, there is strength in the struggle. And anybody that you see that has become successful in something, they have failed many times, but I can assure you that everybody you think's life is perfect, behind the scenes, they are going through something very real. And I know this because I suffered the biggest loss of my life when I was 24, and my life forever changed. That's Luke. He was my best friend in high school. He could tease me like no one else. But his smile lit up the room. He was the kindest person I have ever known. And I'm so lucky because in college, my best friend became my boyfriend. He made me feel like I was invincible and the most important person in the room. We're both super ambitious and we're chasing big dreams. And we had a plan to chase those big dreams together as soon as he got back from his deployment. I put him on a plane. I'm the one that drove him to the airport. I watched him walk through security. And I remember thinking, like, he's coming back. Of course he's coming back. Like, this is just a little delay. I'll work really hard while he's gone, and then, we'll pick up right where we left off. And I remember him walking through security like it was yesterday. And that image just like burned into my brain. And he turned around with that big toothy grin, and he winked at me, and he gave me a smile, and he said, "I'll see you soon." Guys, he didn't come back. So I got a call a couple months later, and it forever changed my life. Because they said, "We lost Luke today." And I thought in that moment that my life had ended. All the dreams that I had, I was mad at God, I was mad at the world. I didn't understand why bad things had to happen to good people. I just didn't think it could be right. I sat at Arlington in the rain, and every gunshot over his casket felt like it was going through my body and piercing my skin because a part of me died that day. And I didn't want to go on. I thought everything that I had planned out in my life was over. But I got home, and reality set in, and I realized that Luke wouldn't want that. He would want me to live. And so I put one foot in front of the other, and I got from one day to the next. And I wanted to live a life to honor him because every day, even the crappy one, is a day that I get to live that he doesn't. So putting one foot in front of the other, I get home from work and there's a box. My heart is together with just like shoestrings. And I get home and there's a box sitting there, and in huge black letters it says, "Return to sender, deceased." It was his Christmas box that I had worked so hard to put together to give him a little taste of home, to let him know that he was loved and missed. That same day, Seth, Luke's best friend from college, called to check on me. I am so incredibly grateful for my husband and the beautiful kids that I have now that I wouldn't have. But our story is forever started from the worst nightmare of my life. I think you can tell, I had to put him on a plane too. When I put him on a plane, I had a 2-year-old and a baby. And I knew from my experience that he wasn't coming home either. You guys, living like the other shoe is about to drop is not really living, and I don't wish that on anyone. But LuLaRoe became not only my sanity, but it became my lifeline. Because I knew when I got the call this time, it wasn't just about picking my pieces back up. I had to be mom and dad for those kids who deserved so much better than I could give them. So I worked my butt off. And you guys, I am so grateful that because of LuLaRoe, that amazing man is home safe, and we have precious time together that I would not have with him likely if I had given up on my dreams with LuLaRoe. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't allow somebody else to tell you that you can't do it. Don't get in your own way and believe that it's just easier for somebody else so you don't have what it takes. There is strength in that struggle. You can rise or you can crumble. I challenge you to rise, whatever it is that you're going through. Finally, everyone is leaving. They must know something I don't know. No, they don't! No, they don't! They don't know anything that you don't know, friends. You know what? Maybe it was their time. For some people, this business is a season, and that's okay. Some people needed to go, and that's okay too, right? Doesn't matter what they did. Do they have any effect on your business? Is their name on your bank account? No. Are they in your house? I hope not. No. They're not there, you guys. But if you go looking for it, you will find it. If you are looking for a reason to quit, you will find it, right? Like when that girlfriend says, oh, I'm not gonna go to the gym today, I don't just feel like it. And you're like, yeah, I'm not going either. You're looking for an excuse. If you're looking for an excuse why this business isn't gonna work, you're gonna find it. But by golly, if you are looking for positive, you're gonna find that too. Every time there's been a challenge in this business, I go back to one thing. Focus on what I know is true. You know what I know is true? I love LuLaRoe. You know what I know is true? I love this community, and I love what LuLaRoe stands for. Strengthening families and blessing lives. I'm here for that, right? So I don't know what else to tell you or to show you how serious I am. Mark said his exit strategy was death. Mine too. Mine too. I am a dang proud LuLaRoe lifer, and I am honored to be on this incredible journey with you. LuLaRoe has blessed our family in incredible ways. It's allowed us to give and serve. We started a military charity to fill the void we saw in that community because of LuLaRoe. My husband is home. My kids have their dad. We are living our dream in Montana, friends. That's because of LuLaRoe. I mean, I might not be cheering when it's snowing, but for now, I really love it. But finally, I want to say, LuLaRoe, the vehicle, is incredible. It has allowed our family to do things we never thought possible, and friends, we are just getting started. But just like anything, LuLaRoe, the vehicle, a business, it had some wobbly parts, right? It needed some repairs, but I am so happy to say that it got a full overhaul, right? It got a tune-up. The Bless app and the retail site are better than ever, right? It got new tires. Our supply chain and shipping is on point. Oh yeah, and it's filled with premium fuel, because have you seen what's coming in those boxes? It is fire, and that fashion show, take all my money right now, because it's about to blow up, sweet friends. But my question to you is, are you gonna allow that car to sit idle in the driveway? Or are you gonna get in and with hard work and consistency, buckle up that seatbelt, adjust those mirrors, and mash that gas pedal to the floor with all of your hard work? My pedal is pressed to the floor, and I would be honored to be on the road with you. It is truly my honor and pleasure to introduce you to fellow mentors and retailers and some of the kindest people you will ever meet. Get your hearts ready for Lacey and Adam's connection.